Live at Onigashima. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Anthony, and today we got chapter 1119, Emeth, and we got a special guest on today. We got our boy Sammy. Say hi to the people, Sammy.
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be here to talk about Emeth. It was a banger chapter, a lot to get into.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so just to get into it right away, we get cut back to Stussy and Kaku at it. We see the kind of resolution. Kaku, you could tell this is like his nice gesture, even though it kind of hurts Stussy, because like you can see by his facial expression, like he actually cares, and he's just like, hey, I don't want you to get hurt. Lucci's gonna come kill you when he comes back. Like, just get out of here.
Yeah, it's nice to see that like Stussy has a friend in Kaku, kind of, and you can tell that it's like really fucking her up, you know. Like I kind of feel bad for the whole situation, and it's gonna be interesting like where this goes from here. I don't know if we're gonna end up getting like a CP0 cover story or something after this.
Another one where they're on the run after the world government sends a buster call on them.
Yeah, it's like a
deja vu for him.
And yeah, so I'm interested to get into that. I'm glad that we kind of had a little. It's not really a wrap up. We'll probably get a wrap up for it soon, but it was a nice moment for Stussy and Kaku. I really like Kaku. I think he's cool.
I do too. I think, like we said before, I think he's gonna eventually kind of flip sides, not completely, but I feel like he'll do some underhanded tactics to the world government that'll help us in the long run, like help the Straw Hats in some way.
Yeah, facts.
But to get to the more important parts about this chapter, we cut back to Bonney and Gear 5. And I think it's just amazing. And like we thought, people were way over exaggerating things, saying she's gonna be so broken before we even saw everything.
Yeah, literally only a Gear 3 move, and that's it. And then she passed out. So it's like.
Although the very interesting part is that she clearly has hockey, which was really nice to see. We got that confirmation. This 12-year-old has hockey. She's kind of crazy.
Yeah, kind of.
Like,
there was an interesting thing with like, this is the first time she's ever used hockey, so a lot of people were talking about like, if the devil fruit like awakened hockey in her for some reason, or if this is like she had this before and she can use it without having to believe that she's Nika and stuff. So it'll be interesting.
So my interpretation is it wasn't the devil fruit that gave it to her, but rather the willpower she got by believing in herself to do this, like to go into Gear 5 basically, or go into this Nika form, is the same willpower that allowed her to use hockey also. I think they kind of go hand in hand, and while they're not like the causation of each other, they kind of correlate to each other.
That makes sense. I mean, we'll see.
I think it's like kind of like a mix, honestly. I feel like because she believes she can do it, like Jimmy was saying, to like be free like Nika, that she's kind of just, she's emulating what Luffy's doing. So I think by the fact that like she believes she's doing it, her devil fruit's like giving it to her, because I think that's kind of like the base of her fruit, like whatever, it's like imagination.
That's true. Whenever we see Luffy using Gear 5, he's always using hockey. So if she just thinks, hey, this form just uses hockey, or at least whatever the variant that she's using is, maybe that's the reason for it.
Is he always using hockey in Gear 5? I feel like.
I mean, basically, right? Like, he's grabbing Kizaru all the time. He can't really do that without hockey. Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of always assuming Luffy's fighting with hockey at this point, because it's kind of fair to assume that.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like you have to fight with hockey at this point.
It was interesting, like when he said, because Luffy said to everybody else when they did that like team up attack, which is really cool. I actually really liked his like solution to the problem. He was like, I'm just gonna eat this guy. Like,
I can't kill him, so might as well get him the fuck out of here.
And so they did this attack, all three of them on him. Sanji does like his, assumedly like his best attack. We get Franky with a new attack, I guess, impactful strong. Or impactful strong right or whatever. I don't think some people were saying like, you know, because Luffy was like, oh my god, you guys are using hockey. I don't know if you guys includes Franky.
I was actually gonna say the same thing. I think it does include Franky, but that's just me trying to overhype Franky because I like him.
I love Franky.
This would not be strong confirmation of him having it. But what I did want to say about this scene also is, like you said, this is one of Sanji's like really strong attacks, and Luffy's kind of just taking it. Like, sure, his eyes are popping because it hurts, but he didn't really take that much damage.
Like that happened with Kaido too, and it's like, you know, he got right back up. One thing that I really thought was cool about this in particular is last time, so we talked a little bit last time that Kuma is still kind of alive, like they're protecting him, and so it kind of made us think like, oh, maybe Bonney won't join the crew. This makes me think that Bonney will join the crew, because it's like we see Sanji even being like, yo, like this is captain's orders, like you gotta follow it, like you got a lot to learn, little Miss Protege. And then she's like, all right, and you know, like they do all the attack together. So to me, this is a cool like first step of Bonney fighting kind of as a Straw Hat. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but
I think it can go either way still. I don't know where I stand, which sometimes makes me think, hey, if I'm kind of doubting it, maybe that means Oda's going to go in the opposite direction and actually do it. Or when you believe it'll happen too much, Yamato, then Oda's not going to do it. So who really knows? I'm just excited to kind of see where this goes.
yeah.
I really don't think she's gonna like hard join. I feel like if there's Kuma's gonna be alive, she's just gonna go kind of with him, and then they'll be kind of like the Straw Hat fleet. Like they kind of just force themselves upon Luffy. They're like, we're gonna fight with you whether you want us to or not. So when it comes time to it, like they'll fight for and with Luffy, but like I don't think she's gonna hard join the crew.
Yeah, maybe like a Kinemon and Momonosuke situation.
My thing with that is that like I still do think Kuma's gonna die. I think he's not gonna die right here, but I think it's gonna be like, oh, he sustained so much injury, like I don't know if there's anything we can do. And I still really do like the theory of, and I don't know if it's gonna happen exactly like this, but I really do like the theory of like Kuma dying near the Mary, and the fruit respawning on one of Nami's orange trees, and then Vivi gets the fruit, because there's so many parallels between, you know, obviously like Vivi and Lily, who assumedly spread the poneglyphs in some way, and that is like a very easy way that she could have done it, was with the pawpaw fruit. So it'd be a nice thing if Vivi got the fruit after Kuma dies. And I don't even really think that Kuma has a place in the story too much, except for to watch Bonney.
Yeah.
And I kind of like Bonney on the crew too, you know what I mean? Like I feel like Bonney is you know, the Shanks and Buggy you know, to Luffy's Roger kind of thing.
So that's what I said about Momonosuke and Tama also. Like, hey, look, it's the kids that are like helping as the apprentices on the Pirate King's crew. And while I do like that theory about Kuma's fruit respawning on the Thousand Sunny, right now, what would have to end up happening, because they're not near the Thousand Sunny, they're on the giant ship, right? So Kuma would have to live, get transferred to that ship, and then die on the Thousand Sunny. And I feel
They
like
don't have to die on the
like
Thousand Sunny. I think it just has to happen near the Thousand Sunny. Like if they go to Elbaf and then they have like a Viking funeral or something for him, and then like after that the fruit respawns or something. I don't know how
it
it's
would
gonna
be one
play
of the
out.
best places to have a Viking funeral, actually,
Yeah.
on Elbaf.
Yeah, it'd be sick. And so like, you know, and we know that we're going to Elbaf, so I don't know. I feel like we'll see what happens with that. But one thing I also did want to say, moving a little past that part of the chapter, is that we totally fucking called this. I'm calling it like not super in advance. I feel like this is pretty obvious, but you know, they're like, oh my god, like we have to meet up with the Sunny, and Atlas is like, I'll go. It's like, okay, Atlas is gonna die, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we know. Like they said it last time. It's like, hey, how many more Vegapunks do we gotta take out? And they're like, hey, we got these two.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay,
literally
so...
that's the exact same thing that happened with Edison but he was on the Sunny and then went and then died or whatever. So I think Atlas.
So yeah, rip Atlas. Next chapter, she's gonna be cooked. But also the other thing we kind of called is the Iron Giant isn't out yet. Like he's just at the bottom of the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said it before, I was like, dang, I'm kind of surprised he went down so easily. I expected more from him, and boy did we get more from him. Skipping kind of to the end of the chapter at this point, that punch that he got on Warcury is crazy. He broke one of his tusks.
Yeah,
Luffy couldn't even do that.
Nah.
Granted, maybe he was punching like a different part. Like maybe his like hide is stronger than like his face and his tusk, because I could definitely see that's kind of how Kaido was too. But this is still really impressive. He punched him once and broke through it cleanly.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a big feat. Like I feel like, you know, it would make sense at this point if this Iron Giant was part of Joy Boy's crew.
Well, that's what I think he's saying here also. When all this dialogue at the end where he like says his name, listen up, Emeth, time is at hand, and he's like, the time, I think that's Joy Boy talking to him because they were either friends or on the same crew.
Oh, so it's like him like reminiscing about like what Joy Boy said.
That's what I think it is. I think it's like his memories of the whole situation.
Interesting.
But it's really cool that we actually get a name for him. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know how it plays into it. Maybe there's some, because I know Oda likes to do this a lot, where he takes like names from mythology and combines them with his characters to show their like characteristics. I wonder if it's something like that.
Could be.
But I'd have to do some more research. We had the giant worm. So we had what was his name? Jupiter, I think it's this one. He kind of just spits up a bunch of CP agents, and he just like throws them up, and everyone's like, "Oh God, we gotta catch them before they die."
Yeah, dude. There's no way they caught them all, right? Like some of those guys hit the water, right? Like for sure.
No, yeah. Honestly, even if they catch them, don't they just kind of die anyways? Like they're falling from like.
I don't know. Oda doesn't kill people, but
that's true. All of them are gonna survive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just One Piece logic, but I like how they brought the Seraphims back too in their little bubbles. I thought that was funny.
That's true. Yeah. Now, well, that's like I wonder where they're gonna go after this. Like, you
well,
barely.
It didn't look like the bubbles popped or anything. Those bubbles are pretty durable, so I wonder how they're even gonna get them out of there. Like, how did Kaku get out of the bubble? Last we saw, he was just there, and then now he's kind of just standing.
Stussy probably got him out somehow.
How? Like, do you just pop it? Like, do you take a needle and just like pop it?
Maybe she had the bubble gun or something. She probably knows. You know, like she's a Vegapunk person. Like she's an ally. I'm sure that's, you know, Stussy had to have released Kaku. There's no other way. So like I'm sure like we'll find out more about how these bubbles work, because clearly they're broken. So
they are very broken.
You know,
imagine trapping a Gorosei in one of these bubbles. That's how the Straw Hats get away from the situation. Actually.
How do they get away from what is he, like a koi fish? I mean, he's not a fish, but like he's a fucking sea monster. Like, yeah, is he in the water or is he like on land and that's what he's doing? But it looks like he's in the water.
I thought he
so
was
that's
on
one
the
thing
land.
I wanted to bring up.
However, the boar looks like he's at least jumping into the water. So yeah, you can talk about
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. So he's not scared of going into the water, which is like, if he is a devil fruit user, he should at least be a little bit worried of the sea. So I think this lends credence to that whole theory of, hey, they're not actually devil fruit users, they're actual yokai and actual just demons from now.
Yeah, I think so. Which, you know, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep on taking that W all day, because I said that at the very fucking beginning. I don't want these guys to be mythical devil fruits, but you know.
So then my question is, if they don't currently have devil fruits, what if they're like that and then later in the story they also eat devil fruits? They're like, damn, we need this power up so we can beat Nika.
That'd be nuts if they just all like pop the devil fruit like in the middle of the fight. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I think they're just so broken as it is. But what's nice, I think, about them getting away from this situation is, even though these Gorosei are broken and I don't think they could fight them straight up, I don't think in the next chapter they're going to need to. I think now that Vegapunk's message is playing again, their main priority is going to be stopping this Iron Giant and trying to get like the message to stop.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to focus all their efforts on that while the Straw Hats get away. Yeah. And I think that's kind of how their escape plan is going to be.
Like, where are all of them right now? Like, Mars got yeeted, these two guys are here, and then Saturn would be really the only other one that, you know, because Nazjuro is fighting next to the Sunny. So I guess Saturn could come along and, you know, maybe get involved somehow, or because like I don't know how he's gonna play into this, but I feel like Saturn needs to kind of be involved towards the end, because he had so much connection with Bonney and Kuma and everything, and it'd be nice if Bonney was able to like get a punch in, you know what I mean? But
another one, yeah. And this time it'd be really cool, because last time she tried to hit Saturn, like he was like, hey, you're powerless, you don't believe, your faith is dwindling. And now to come back and be like, oh yeah, bitch, try this on for size, and just knock him out, that'd be crazy.
But getting back to so the other big part of the chapter that is kind of cryptic, and I feel like this is kind of, it's not the meat and potatoes of the chapter, but it's like the most kind of interesting part of the chapter, is that Vegapunk's message came back. And so clearly Oda said no spoilers, he did the same shit with Odin, he ripped a page out of his book, and you know, all the D-Clan stuff got omitted, but the thing's back on and we get more pieces of the message. We cut to a couple interesting characters. You know, we see our boy Gaimon.
Finally, our boy Gaimon's back. He's got a girlfriend now. It's amazing.
I think we saw her in like a cover story.
We saw it in a cover story the last time we saw them. You know what's interesting about this to me though? I was curious why Oda even showed this, because I don't think he has a Den Bushi. He's kind of just on a deserted island, right? So like he doesn't even know what's going on, right? He's just happy, and Oda's like, you know, I kind of just want to draw him.
Well, it's interesting. So I want to dissect the text a little bit here, because that goes into like what Vegapunk is saying, because I feel like in that instance particularly, because you're right, like he probably wouldn't have a Denden Mushi. He says that the part of the text that he says, he goes, and to those who have suffered for this, I can only pray my voice reaches you. So did Gaimon suffer? And then it cuts to Gaimon. So it's like,
I mean, he clearly did. Look, he's stuck in a treasure chest his entire life. He's suffering.
oh, is that
100%.
because of the D clan? Or like
no,
some...
Luffy was the one that saved him. Luffy made him happy.
I know, but from before, like I wonder like how that all affects him, because another thing with Gaimon in particular, and I know that Gaimon's a nothing character and we're probably spending too much time on this, but
no such thing. Gaimon's the best.
But people were bringing up when we were seeing the God Valley flashback was that you know, for the prize of the God Valley thing, there were 6 chests that were all devil fruits, and on Gaimon's island it was 6 chests that were there, including his, right? So I don't know if his island was one of these places that one of these like things took place, like one of these crazy events took place. So
what if this was God Valley? What if Gaimon's been living on God Valley the whole time?
I like the theory better that Thriller Bark like is God Valley, because of all the you know,
dead corpses that were there that are really significant.
Yeah, and because it got wiped off the map, so it's like we don't. I mean, that could have just been the like the Lucia bomb or Uranus or whatever it is, but who knows. But anyways, to get back into like actually what this chapter is, so the other 2 big characters that they cut to are, number 1, Katakuri, and
oh yeah, another goat.
Everybody thought, dude, okay, so there was a lot of people that were like, oh my god, he's going for pudding, like where's Cat, he's nowhere, he's fucking home, he's just chilling.
Also, one of the ones I wanted to point out, he's a little bit hard to see because he's covered by text box, but I think that's Parasparrow to the left on the side there. And if Parasparrow's there, I wonder where Big Mom is, because he was the only one with her at Wano.
Yeah, you're right.
Did she actually just die and drown? Is Oda just saving her and she's fine? Like, none of these like people seem worried either. Like, none of the Big Mom pirates are like, oh my god, we need a new leader, what are we gonna do now? They're all just kind of like, okay, let's just watch this broadcast.
Yeah, but that's like the main thing that's going on in the world right now is this broadcast. So I don't know if we can like extrapolate too much. The other thing that is interesting, and that this is what makes me think that Vivi is going to come back like really soon, is that this is like the 3rd or 4th time we've cut back to specifically Vivi and Morgan. Like, you know, we've gotten their reaction like many other times, so like I don't know.
I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time just within this broadcast.
Right, so it's like I really feel like she's gonna bump into the Straw Hats like really soon.
Well, I think it could still be the thing we said before, where she bumps into them as they're leaving and maybe either helps them escape or jumps onto their ship at that time.
Yeah.
Who knows? Which, if that does happen, that means Morgan's would be near the Straw Hats and could get like the truth out there instead of just like what he's putting out now, saying like, hey, Luffy's the bad guy. Luffy captured Vegapunk. Maybe he could talk to him and be like, oh crap, the Gorosei are here. Like, this is a huge deal. So who knows? And honestly, it would be kind of like commiserating with Wapple's story, because Wapple should have already told him about Emu and all of them being demons. So like him seeing this again, it's like, oh shit, we have connections
did
here.
He? Because Vivi still doesn't know Cobra's dead, you know?
I think she knows. There was that whole scene with her crying about it. I'm pretty sure she knows, like 100%.
I
yeah,
forgot that. Well,
another thing
about Morgan specifically is like he was saying in one of the cutaways, like when it showed him, he was like all freaked out about Vegapunk doing like a video broadcast. He's like, "Are you trying to kill print media?" So it might be a fun way to have him be like, "Oh, like people gotta trust the papers because like we got like this is a story that nobody else has." It's like an alternate story to the Vegapunk thing, like if he actually meets up with Luffy and they get, you know, the juicy deets or whatever. But
yeah, who knows? Sadly though, there is one terrible thing about this chapter. There's a break next week, but honestly, I'm okay with it. We've gotten 3 banger chapters in a row.
It's been a while.
Taking a break for a little bit. Oda needs his time. This is one of those like normal scheduled breaks, so I'm not surprised by it at all.
Yeah, no, same. It's fine. And this was a shorter chapter. Like, hopefully Oda's doing fine. Like, this is, I think, like the 4th one.
I think this one just had a lot of double pages in it also. Yeah, like a lot of these bigger panels, so.
That's true. But until next time, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, you know, put your theories in the comments. We wanna hear what you guys think.
Yeah, we had some pretty interesting ones last time. You guys have been doing good.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.